Shelby Lammers. There's a whole lot to say about Shelby Lammers, but there's really not a lot to say about Shelby Lammers. You get what you get with Shelby. He's 100%. Shelby and I met through a mutual friend, and Shelby has got to be one of the funniest individuals I've ever met. He's absolutely hilarious, but it also turns out that Shelby is a fantastic hunter. He loves to hunt waterfowl. Shelby is a fantastic friend, but he's an even better guide. I've got to spend the better part of a couple of weeks down hunting with Shelby, and a lot of days we're hunting duck in the morning and hunting speckled-bellied goose in the evening, and it has turned into quite the ordeal. I've always been a duck hunter, but what I now know is I'm a speck hunter. These geese work like ducks, and they're very social. There's a lot of communication. They are more than happy to communicate with you, and so if you can get their attention, they'll circle and work just like a duck, and man, it's fun. These are some big old birds, and when they decide to cup up and come in, you can tell it from a half a mile away. They're coming in. We got out in our layout blinds, and it was my first experience in a layout blind, and I was scared I wouldn't fit in the layout. I'm 6'6", 375 pounds. I didn't think I was going to fit in the layout. But it turns out I did. I was just fine. I got in there, got comfortable, took a little nap. But we had an absolute blast. Got in there and geese started working. And at first I was like, man, I don't know how well this is going to work. You're honking. I mean, really? I didn't think it was going to work. But it sure did. It sure did. And geese started working. Next thing you know, we got a group of 3 or 4 coming in, right in our face. And they got blasted. And from now on, I'm a speck hunter. Don't give me a break in my duck season and expect me to not hunt something. So, specks, it's on. And I can't promise that I won't waste a few duck days on speckled bellies. Talking about Shelby Lammers, you have to put a lot of things in perspective. You don't just go out and kill anything. You have to put the homework in. You have to put the time in to figure out where they're at and how to get on them. And that is one thing that Shelby does every day religiously. Now, Shelby did guide professionally for 5 or 6 years. He knows what he's doing. He knows his stuff. But he gets out. He has a route that he rides. He checks his areas. He knows where the birds are, what field they're in today, what fields they were in this morning, what fields they're roosting in. He knows where these birds are at. And so it makes it really easy to go back and set up on them. Now the only trick is making sure we've got enough straw or grass to get our blinds brushed in adequately to where they're not seeing us. But Shelby always manages to find a way. He managed to hide 10 people on the side of a levee that I would have never thought was possible. And we went out there and smoked a bunch of birds. We had an absolute blast. So Shelby is very good at what he does, and that's just in the speck world. We also do a lot of duck hunting, and like I said, Shelby guided duck hunts for 5 or 6 years. The boy can blow a duck call. He knows how to get things working. He knows how to get a duck's attention. He knows how to work a duck. And he has a really solid platform on how to set up on ducks. And he thinks outside the box. And like I said, I've been hunting duck for Lord knows how long. I'm 36 years old. I live in Arkansas, for God's sake. I've been hunting duck my whole life. And he's got a different outlook on it. He's got different ways of doing it. He puts out a lot of decoys in places where I probably wouldn't put out that many. But he kills ducks. He doesn't put out very many decoys in places where I'd put out a whole lot. But he kills ducks. So he's got it down to a pretty good science. He's got a pretty good working knowledge of the species. You know, you just can't get the guide out of a guy. Once a guy has that in him, it's hard to get rid of. And when he goes to hunt, he goes to make sure everyone kills a limit of birds. And he still puts the same amount of work into our hunts as he would if I were a paying customer. Fortunately, I'm just a friend, and he hasn't charged me. I may get a bill at the end of the season, but he hadn't charged me yet to come hunting with him, and it's been an absolute blast. But he does so much work, I feel like I'm in his debt. But you just can't get the guide out of the guy yet, and he is just a fantastic sportsman. He's a fantastic host. He makes sure that you have what you need. He makes sure you're ready to go, and he makes sure there's birds for you to shoot. He doesn't go out somewhere hoping a bird's coming in. He goes out knowing there's birds there, and then he works them to you. And it's just a fantastic thing when you get to go hunt with Shelby Lammers. After this week hunting with Shelby, we have met so many people. My friend list just grew. I've made more friends and had more fun than I ever thought was possible. I didn't know what I was missing. And the thing is, we only live 40 minutes apart. And I've known Shelby for a little while now. And I didn't realize how much fun they were having down there and how many great resources they had down there. They have a lot of birds in their area. Maybe even more than what we have in our area. And what that tells you is we're in two hot spots. In Prairie, Arkansas, and Monroe County in Arkansas, that's where the birds are. And there's no denying that. There's no one that can say otherwise. And I'm in Prairie County, and he's between Arkansas and Monroe. And they've got a lot of birds, and he's got some fantastic resources. And I was fortunate to get to meet a lot of his friends, a lot of the people he hunts with, a lot of people he works with. And they're great folks too. So when I say we had a great hunt, it was more than just about going out and shooting birds, going out and scouting birds. It was about the people that were on these hunts with us. And it was absolutely fantastic to meet some of these folks, to get to know some of these folks, and like I said, to gain these friends. So I'm looking forward to next week and the week after, next year and the year after and the year after. I want to continue hunting with these folks, continue getting to know them, continue building relationships with them, because it's been a lot of fun. But it's getting time where we've got to close this thing down, and so I just want to say to all you guys, take the time to go spec hunt. If you don't have a great spot to go, get in with a guide. Come down here to this part of the country. Come down to the Prairie, Arkansas, and Monroe County of Arkansas. Get in on a fantastic greenhead timber hunt. You can't beat it. Get in on a good rice field speckled belly hunt. You owe it to yourself to do it at least once. And if you play your cards right, you may can just get in with Shelby Lammers. So hopefully you get that opportunity to do that soon, because Shelby is a fantastic person. He's absolutely hilarious. He's a fantastic guide. He puts the work in, and he gets the job done. You guys have a good day. We'll see you soon.